Hey, what's up guys? Gons here for the Face Like This on YouTube channel. This is another CERN watch, keeping an eye on everything happening at CERN. CERN just published an article on the 10th, and it was updated today on the 13th. And it says here, first successful beam at record energy of 6.5 TeV. And if you go down, it says last night the operations team for the Large Hadron Collider successfully circulated a beam at 6.5 tera electron volts, one of many steps before the accelerator will deliver collisions at 4 interaction points within the ALICE, ATLAS, CMS, and LHCb detectors. And a previous article to this talks about how it's going to take several months to get it up there. But here we go, guys. They have successfully circulated a beam at 6.5 tera electron volts. So there you go. It's happening. But for this video, I just wanted to show you guys more portal propaganda. It's ridiculous. Now, we've gone over Disney, but look at this little image I found here. It's actually from DeviantArt, but it just outlines all the Disney XD shows that has portals. We've gone over these. This is obviously Gravity Falls here. You have Pen Zero, Part-Time Hero. You have Star versus the Forces of Evil. Then you have down here Phineas and Ferb. They've always kind of had a couple of supernatural elements, but here they are with the portal in an episode where they actually go into an alternate dimension. You have Wander Over Yonder. And in that show, they actually travel in this bubble type thing, and they're actually kind of going around space all over the universe. And so it's more of a wormhole type thing than a dimensional portal, but nevertheless, same kind of thing, more portals. And then you have Randy Cunningham, 9th grade ninja, and there are definitely some occult aspects to this show. You have the sorceress, who is the sorcerer's girlfriend, and there's an episode where the sorceress plans to send Randy Cunningham into the portal, which leads to the Land of Shadows. The point is, lots of portals in Disney XD, as we've gone over some. It's just ridiculous the amount of propaganda happening with portals. But it was brought to my attention just recently from Mario the Vigilant Christian, as well as several other people who linked to me this new release by Lego. It's the new toy for Dimensions, and it says here, Dimensions, with another portal here. Get ready to break the rules on September 27th, 2015. For the first time ever, characters from different universes join forces in worlds outside their own. A Dark Knight, a wizard, and a Lego master builder traveling down the yellow brick road is just the beginning. Very interesting. And I think there's some stuff there with the yellow brick road reference to the film The Wizard of Oz that I think will require some deeper breakdown, but I'm definitely going to get into that at some point because that film is just chock full of stuff. And here's a little bit of the preview from the actual commercial of Dimensions here. And here it is. It's playing. There's an interesting box looking thing. They open it up. He builds the portal. The portal turns on and beings come out of it. The wizard, the Dark Knight, and the Lego Master Builder. And so here you go. Here's more stuff coming through the portal. You got the Batmobile coming through the portal in Lego format, and of course a little bit of humor in there. But the point is, more portals. And why? Why so many portals? Why all the propaganda with portals? And just as a side note, definitely check out Conspiracy to Christ and his YouTube channel because he addressed this as well. He has a video called Lego Dimensions, CERN, LHC Portal Technology that gives his opinion on Dimensions with Lego. So I'll put a link to that in the description section as well. Now, the propaganda for portals actually extends beyond just for kids. There's been several articles that have been published recently that seem to indicate that there are some people that are expecting some sort of portal shift to go on in reality. And this is actually nothing new, but there was an article that was published on humansarefree.com, and this was published today, and the article is called The Upcoming Dimensional Shift, and it goes through the whole New Age teachings about, first off, the idea of what we're living in now, the 4 dimensions we're living in now, and then the 5th dimension that we are going to ascend into, or that's what these New Agers tend to say. And this article is very interesting because it sort of mixes some of the ideas that we've been exposing in the New Age, like Kundalini and things like that, with a sort of Christian bent. And so it talks about the 4th dimension, it talks about the Kundalini, the caduceus serpent energy, but it outright says who or what is behind the Kundalini spirit. And it says here, Kundalini serpent is Satan. And it says here, we can thus, with right, ask who is this Kundalini spirit that claims the power of God? The Kundalini serpent is the one called Satan, who has positioned himself and built his kingdom between heaven and earth, where he presumes for himself the right to act as mediator between man and the gods/God. And later on, my hope is that you, the reader, would by now be able to see how that the Kundalini serpent/Satan is the one who initiated the Kala chakra rituals and philosophy that has been carried into the world by yogis or gurus, whom he has allowed to be possessed by his lesser reptilian servants from the nether region of the lower third dimension. And then later on, also through this man, coupled with his various disciples throughout the world, is Satan's aim to establish the ultimate counterfeit religion where he alone will be worshipped as God, and as such will there be no place for either the three monotheistic religions, the Hindu religion, or normal Buddhism. It's a very interesting take on this because it kind of mixes in some of what we've been saying as Christians for a very long time. And then it gets into when two worlds collide, gateways to the other side, and it's all just demons, and also gets to a part where it says testing the spirits. Really interesting, because it actually talks about Christians. It says here, the Christian Bible says, test even the angels of God, because demons have presented themselves as angels of God and have led many astray. Well, it's not exactly what it says, but let's go on. Ask for the gift of spiritual discernment, as it's called by Christians, but which boils down to asking your spirit guides/guardians to identify any messages you receive out of the spiritual realm or encounters you experience with entities, channelers, etc. Now, this departs from biblical teaching. Clearly, there's no such thing as spirit guides or guardians according to the Bible. Now, there are angels watching over us, but there isn't necessarily any way to invoke communication with them per se. I mean, there are times when that happens in the Bible, but it's always God's prerogative. It's not our own summoning. Then it gets into the preparation for transition and all this stuff. The point is here, guys, that the New Age has always talked about dimensional shifts, and they are not backing down. I mean, this is part of their sort of end game in terms of looking at a new age of humanity. And the idea of the new age is not new at all. It's the same Luciferian philosophy that comes from the Garden of Eden. Ye shall be as gods. It's the exact same thing. And I outline that and document it pretty substantially in Age of Deceit, Fallen Angels, and the New World Order. But I just wanted to throw that in there because I find it interesting that this philosophy is still around, and I think it still has a lot of people wrapped up. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and this is still about portals here, Tom Horn and Cris Putnam are getting ready to release On the Path of the Immortals, Exo Vaticana, Project Lucifer, and the strategic locations where entities await the appointed time. And they were just interviewed on Beyond Extraordinary, the podcast, and I highly recommend you guys go check this episode out. I'm trying to grab Cris for an exclusive interview on the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel, and hopefully that will happen sooner rather than later. But he had some very interesting experiences, caught some interesting things on film, and one of the things that they talk about in this book is revealed the role of CERN's Large Hadron Collider and its search for a portal. So again, definitely is all the buzz this year. And also it came to my attention that 2015 is considered the International Year of Light and Light-Based Technologies. So on the 20th of December 2013, the UN General Assembly 68th session proclaimed 2015 as the International Year of Light and Light-Based Technologies. And there's a quote here from the chairman of the International Year of Light 2015 Steering Committee, John Dudley, stated, quote, "An International Year of Light is a tremendous opportunity to ensure that international policymakers and stakeholders are made aware of the problem-solving potential of light technology. We now have a unique opportunity to raise global awareness of this." So guys, lots going on, all have to do with portals and dimensions and Year of Light. And I mean, it's just off the charts, the number of things that are going down. It's hard to even keep up. And, you know, I can go into deeper breakdowns on stuff, but I think having a video like this just to cover the basics is important, and hopefully it'll get you to do your own research. And something that Tom Horn mentioned in the interview on Beyond Extraordinary that I think is really important to remember is that there is a biblical prerogative for this. There's a biblical point of view about dimensions and portals. If we look at mountains in the Bible, there are several instances when different things happened on top of mountains, and Tom Horn outlines some of these, but you have Moses going up to Mount Sinai. You have Jesus in Matthew 17, where he took Peter, James, and John up to a high mountain where he was transfigured. This is where his face shone like the sun. It's where I get my little avatar and logo and everything. You have Jacob and Jacob's ladder in Genesis 28, and we've talked about that with Anthony Patch. You have high places where pagans offered sacrifices and burnt incense to the gods. And so there are several places in the Bible that actually talk about what seem to be these dimensional portals opening and certain things happening, especially in high places and mountains. And that's what Chris Putnam and Tom Horn get into in their book. And I'm excited to read the book because they go to Mount Graham out in Arizona, where the Lucifer telescope is sitting there with the Vatican and NASA controlling it. And again, they run into some very interesting things there. So that's about it for this CERN Watch. Please share and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hope you guys have a blessed day.